Yeah.
Weezy out of here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another SpashBros video. In today's episode, we have Carter on the channel. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. How's it going?
Doing well, doing well. So, in today's video, he was doing really well in a Grand Challenge. So he's going to share 3 of those replays against some really top-notch players, and then we're going to talk through them together. Just kind of his thought process on it and how he's playing. But this is the deck right here that he's using. And, dude, 149th in the world. That's pretty incredible. When did that happen?
So that happened a few months ago, November of 2018. So that was like right after CRL Season 1 ended. I did that with actually a different Royal Hogs deck. So, yeah, I mean, I was fairly happy with that finish.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And, dude, I didn't even notice this. 2 20-win challenges. So you've won it both times. That's incredible, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, 20-win challenge definitely isn't easy, but I have managed to get it every time that they've had it.
That's awesome. And over 100 Grand Challenge wins. I mean, there's a reason why he's sharing these replays and going over this deck with us, guys. He is an absolute pro. And, yeah, so lucky to have you on the channel, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem, man.
All right, so this top guy, Spades, do you want to talk about him real fast before we go into this matchup?
Yeah, Spades, he's a really good player. I know, like, our team, NRG, we were looking at him for a short amount of time, and then, yeah, I know he's definitely going to be in CRL Season 2. It hasn't been officially announced what his team is, but, yeah, he's definitely a really good player.
Awesome. So, do you want to click watch? And, so 3, 2, 1. All right. Let's do this. All right, man. So, yeah, just talk us through the replay, kind of like your thought process, and I'll shut up for a little bit.
All right, yeah. So, starting off the game here, Zappies are always like the best first play, just splitting them in the back. They just apply some good defense to both lanes. You can kind of push either lane after playing them, so always solid. And then I just poisoned the flying machine there just because I didn't really have much else to play there. I had a little bit of an awkward cycle.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So,
Zappies. A lot of people are saying that they're broken, they're a bad card, but honestly, I think it fits not only in this deck, but it's just do you think it's a pretty solid card in general?
So Zappies are, I definitely think that they're really underrated, but they're definitely not great defensively. They're super solid, especially if your opponent's running Lightning or something. But they definitely aren't great against like Fireball decks and Poison decks. Poison decks not quite as much. Like they can still do some work there. But yeah, you kind of need some other good bait cards to go alongside them. Like in this deck, I have the Barbs and the Royal Hogs and the Magic Archer. So yeah, I think they're good, and I definitely think that they're underrated, but they're not great at the same time.
Okay, I gotcha. So I see that you have a legendary in this deck, the Magic Archer. You want to talk about that card, and at the end, you want to talk about a card that maybe if people don't have a legendary, what they can substitute for it.
Yeah, so you definitely, as far as substitution goes, you can definitely play Flying Machine. It serves a pretty similar purpose in just kind of sniping buildings or whatever they have really from a range. The Magic Archer is really nice though, because a lot of the times if they play a troop towards the middle of the tower, or if they play a troop towards the middle of the tower, you can use the Magic Archer to snipe it and get some chip damage in. So it's definitely really nice to have it if you have it unlocked.
So I actually see that Spades is using a Royal Hog deck as well. Would you say that you have the matchup here, or is it a pretty similar matchup?
I'm definitely favored here just because I have Poison and he doesn't have a big spell, so I can like poison his Barbs, or like right here I poison the Flying Machine and Bats.
Gotcha.
So if I play Barbs on his Royal Hogs, he can't do as much as I can to combat that.
For sure. Makes sense. Well, with 10 seconds to go here, you're sitting at kind of in the driver's seat, doing really well on defense and on offense. Was there like a make or break point in this matchup where you were like, okay, he's kind of like, I have this one under wraps. It's not going to be that hard of a matchup?
Yeah, I mean, pretty early on, I knew what deck he was playing, so I just tried to get into the cycle that I wanted. Like, I took a little bit of damage early on, but then after that, I had a good cycle, and I was able to just defend and counter push pretty consistently.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. So he actually does have a promising push right here, but your poison does take. That was a very well placed defensive poison, and then Royal Hog's going in right here. And this could probably be GG. Yeah, dude, awesome job here with that first matchup. Oh, he hits you with the oops. Nice job, man. Awesome first match.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so Alex, do you want to talk about him?
Yeah, so I mean, I don't really know a whole lot about this guy, Alex, but I mean, he was at 6 wins in a GC, so it couldn't be too bad. And Golem Poison with Tornado, it's a pretty close matchup, I would say. Usually I'm able to win, but it's just like, so usually I go like aggressive with Royal Hogs whenever they Golem, and it can be a little bit tough to completely shut down their push after that. But yeah, we can hop into the replay and see what happens.
For sure. Let's click on it in 3, 2, 1. And I actually just checked out Spade's. I should have done it before, but I just clicked on his profile, and dude, it's also unreal. It's just like yours. It's insane, man.
Yeah.
So GG's on that matchup. So Golem matchup. Does he have matchup? Do you have matchup on this one?
Yeah. So it's a pretty close matchup, like I said. He started with a Golem, and then he misses the NATO.
That was a huge miss.
Oh yeah. So he actually just decides not to defend here. As you can see, and so he gives up the tower to me, so I'm able to just play barbs on this, and I take a pretty big early lead.
For sure.
So then, yeah, I'm just able to defend this, and then he kind of just stops pushing. Like right here, he could have spammed more with lumberjack and maybe poison the zappies and stuff like that, and he would have been able to get a few hundred damage at least, but yeah, he just for some reason decided to stop where he was at.
Gotcha. I think that an important question, which I probably should have asked before, is what are the best and worst matchups with this current deck?
So the worst matchups are like Expo, 2.6, Mega Knight.
That's so. I'm curious though, because you have so many ground troops for Expo.
But they just for Expo, for example, they just have a fast fireball cycle, and you can't really get damage.
Yeah,
same thing with 2.6 is they just have fast fireball cycle and a building, so you can't really break through, and they just kind of chip away over the course of the game. And so it's really, really hard to win those matchups. And then Mega Knight, of course, Mega Knight is a great counter for Royal Hogs. And defensively, you can surround it with barbs and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is pretty good, but yeah, it's just an awkward matchup.
Okay, that makes sense. I gotcha. So, if you take an early lead, do you typically stop playing offense, or is this in try and play defense against this Golem kind of deck, or do you try and just continuously have pressure on them so that they can't build a big push?
It's very situational, I guess. Right
that's fair.
Here, it's hard to push into him and make him not get a push, because I don't want to push for a 3 crown, because that's just not gonna accomplish a whole lot, because that's a ton of damage I would have to get, and this deck usually doesn't have any huge connections.
For sure, that makes sense.
So here I'm gonna apply some pressure so that it can't bridge spam at me or anything like that.
Yep.
But GG, if he was pushing opposite lane of me, then I would definitely be applying more pressure.
I gotcha. Well, awesome, dude. GG again. And before we step into this next one, I do want to mention, I forgot, I think in the beginning of this episode, that after this last replay, Carter and I are going to go up against each other in a little 1v1. So, hopefully I can take you down, man.
Yeah, we'll see.
So, Jorge Diag, do you want to talk to me a little bit about this guy? Do you know anything about him?
I mean, based on his profile, he's gotten 20 wins both times. He's like gotten top 500 on ladder.
This dude's also a stud.
So definitely a pretty solid player here.
Yeah.
And this is like one of the hardest counters. So yeah, we can hop into it whenever you're ready.
For sure. All right, you want to do it? 3, 2, 1. All right, man. Here we go. So it's one of the hardest counters because of Poison and Mega Knight, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, especially the Mega Knight is really tough to deal with because you play Royal Hogs for 5, and they can just counter that with Mega Knight, and then they have the Mega Knight counter pushing too. So definitely
sure.
really.
Well, I have you. What do you think of this April update? Was it good for the pros at all, or was it just more of like a free-to-play thing?
Yeah, I think the update was really beneficial for like casual and free-to-play players with the Trophy Road and some other nice small things that they added.
For sure.
I think Earthquake is a pretty bad card for the game just because it does really well against decks with buildings and really poorly against all other decks, so it just makes for more like hard counters in the game and stuff like that, which is just definitely not healthy.
For sure.
But I mean, overall it was a decent update, but I think that there's a lot that they can still improve on in the future.
Yeah, for sure. I'm pretty sure that I saw that Earthquake fluctuates between like 5 and 15% usage rate per day. So if you're playing an Expo deck, 5 to 15% of the time, you're getting hard countered. And like that's just an L. That's pretty ridiculous if you think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really just not a fan of the card for reasons like that. Like, if you're playing a Siege deck, obviously, you're just going to get destroyed. Or if you're playing a Hut deck, your Huts just won't do anything. So,
yep.
Yeah, pretty polarizing card at the end of the day.
For sure. So in this matchup, you've kind of alluded to it. You haven't been able to make a push at all. And, yeah, this Inferno Dragon 2 just going to take out that Magic Archer. Were there any cards that you wanted buffed or nerfed that did not actually get that, have that happen to?
I think you cut out.
Oh, sorry. Were there any cards that you wanted to be buffed or nerfed that didn't actually get buffed or nerfed in this April update?
So yeah, the last balance changes I think were like a week or two ago, but yeah. I definitely think Snowball should be nerfed. I think Baby Dragon should be nerfed.
Yeah, I think everyone thinks that one too.
Yeah, those are the main two. I would say there's a lot of cards that you could buff, but I don't know.
How about for you in particular? Are there any
what
decks?
I think they should buff?
Yeah, like, or is there a deck that you just like, a card that you love that you're just like, it needs some love, man? Like it's like one of your favorite decks kind of thing. One of your favorite cards, excuse me.
I definitely think Bomber should be buffed.
Okay.
It really just doesn't do anything just because it can't hit air. It's 3 elixir. It's not tanky. So like here I outcycled the Mega Knight, by the way. That's kind of one of the main things in this matchup.
Yeah, I just saw. That's huge.
Yeah. So this is like, see, I get a big connection here. I took a lot of damage on the left, but yeah, it's definitely, I think it was pretty well worth it because it's hard to get damage. So like if I can get a connection, I'm gonna try to like outcycle.
Yeah, 100%. That totally makes sense. If you can outcycle the Mega Knight, then, or if he plays it like opposite lane, would you say then you should go the opposite lane of wherever he plays the Mega Knight? That's kind of one way to get some damage.
Yeah, I would probably defend the Mega Knight first. Surround it with barbs or whatever, and then after that, like they still won't have Mega Knight cycle, so then I can go for the Royal Hogs after that.
For sure. All right, dude. With 1:50 to go in this game, it's not actually looking that great for you, especially since he has Mega Knight in cycle here.
Yeah, so you definitely have to be extremely patient with the Royal Hogs in this matchup, because if you go too aggressive one time, they just get a huge counter push and it spirals out of control really quickly.
Yeah.
So here he's starting to like poison cycle me, which is definitely smart by him, but I know I need to start to make my move, so I go for Royal Hogs. I bait out the Mega Knight. He did miss one of the Royal Hogs, which is kind of nice, but it doesn't really matter a whole lot. I only got one Royal Hog hit.
I'm seeing this is looking like an interesting. What do you play here? Okay, Zappies. Yeah.
Yeah,
Zappies
so Zappies come down to tank. He plays poison, so I know he has like no elixir right now.
Yeah.
Because of how aggressive he went, and he doesn't save up for Mega Knight. Rather, he goes for like E-Wiz and Snowball. But I'm able to get a second Magic Archer down to snipe, and then the Royal Hogs are just doing a little bit of damage.
Honestly, I think that was his mistake right there. Is he had the Mega Knight basically. Yeah, if he waited just a tick longer, he would have had the Mega Knight.
Yeah, so he definitely, it probably would have been better for him to play Mega Knight. But if he plays Mega Knight, then I can snipe with Magic Archer, and the Royal Hogs will be distracting it for a while, and he won't have any elixir to like reset the Magic Archer. Yeah. So I still think I would have been able to get 4 or 5 shots, which would have been enough to put me into poison cycle range at least.
100%, man. Well, very well, well told. Well, dude, do you want to get into this matchup with me?
All right, sure. You want me to play the same deck that I'm using, or anything?
You can play whatever you want. I don't want to have you feel like you're disadvantaged.
All right.
You know, because you're totally the disadvantage right now. Let's see here. Mind you, I did get the 20 wins, but I have yet to beat a pro on one-on-one. I think I get stage fright. All right. I think I got my deck here.
All right.
You ready?
Good luck. Yeah. Ready as I'll ever be.
Good luck, man. Good luck. All right, here we go. Okay.
Hey.
What you got, man? What are you doing?
Oh, just cycling a bandit, man. What are you doing?
I'm just gonna put a little miner on this other side. I don't want to deal with that bandit yet.
Yeah, man. I'll deal with that miner. Alright, so Giant Prince.
Wow, thanks. Alright. That's when you know, man. That's when you know you're screwed, is when you've played 2 cards and the other person knows your whole deck. Wow, of course, he elects to go with the exact deck he's been using the whole match.
I had to ask you if I could switch just for the miner.
Dude, you totally had me. You had me in a twirl.
Alright. Well, hopefully you have poison. If you have poison, I'm in decent shape. If you have fireball, it's not going to be easy.
All I got to say there is, I'm currently in the lead. Just want to point that one out.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely, I might have misplayed that Mega Minion, but that's okay. Okay, so let's do this. And I have no idea if this is the right or wrong thing to do. What do you think of that move? Was that terrible?
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't do that, because now defensively I can just utilize Zappies and Barbs, and you can't poison them, so it's going to be hard for you to get damage, and I still get some chip damage.
See, that's why I'm a noob. I didn't think of that for 1 second. That was not at all. So you're just going to probably Barbs and Zappies this. Yep, there you go. But hopefully my Prince can get a little bit of damage here, so I can mitigate any of this. Alright. I'm going to let that one Zappy go on this right-hand side. And then, okay. This is looking pretty bad.
Yeah, so that's going to be a pretty good connection for me.
This could be tower. Alright, come on. Okay. Eventually was able to stop it. Oh no. Get out of here with that magic. No, Magic Archer destroys that. Okay, come on, here we go. We're going in for a strong push, guys. Which is completely destroyed. Alright, awesome. Let's see what we can do here, though. We're gonna let those Zappies probably go on the right-hand side here. And now we really can't. Ugh.
And that one Royal Hog will take out the left, or the right, well, or your left. But.
My left, yeah. Alright, with 20 seconds to go. This is... Do you have matchup in this scenario?
I definitely have a slight matchup. But it's a pretty tough one to play. Like, one of my teammates is a really good giant player, and so usually I'll split about 50% in this matchup with him. But what you have to do is, like, whenever I play Royal Hogs, you kind of just play like Baby Dragon or Prince or something like that, and you take a ton of damage. But then you counter push with like a giant and a poison, and it's pretty difficult for me to defend without taking a good amount of damage.
For sure. Well, dude, there you go. Thanks so much, man, for coming on the channel. I'll have your stats, Royale stats at the bottom. I'll have your Twitter there as well if you guys want to check him out. Be sure to give him a follow. Dude, thanks so much for coming on the channel, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man. It was fun.
For sure. Hopefully I can have you on soon again, and maybe in like a Pro v Pro. I've been doing a lot of those lately, and they seem to be getting a lot of views, so that's pretty fun.
All right, sounds good.
All right, see you later. Thanks, guys, for coming on, and I hope you have a good one. If you did enjoy it, please give it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.